Oh boy, that's lovely. My video just starts on YouTube. I don't know what's going on here. But I should be live, I think. I'll just turn my volume down so that doesn't happen again. um, yeah, there we go. Awesome. That is live on YouTube. Just checking in. Hello. And Joey's there again. Joey Kitty. Awesome. Good to see you. Yeah. So it's on live on YouTube. It must be live on my Facebook and probably on Twitter. Hello, folks in social media land, live stream land. Yeah, really looking forward to sharing with you tonight. Get yourself all cozy and have a glass of water. Make sure you have some water with you. Um, and I'm just going to check and see how we're doing here on Facebook to re-thing that. There we go. Yep, refreshing it. And we're live there and hopefully on the page too. There's been some weird things. So if you're on Facebook and you see like spam, obvious spam, like, and if you see someone talking about some Zoom link, it's not me. Okay. It's not valid. I've been in a couple of meetings today and that happened in both of them on Facebook Live. So if that shows up, please block and report. I mean, report and block. Okay. So, and the more of you that report them, the quicker it happens with Facebook. So yeah. Cool. So we're going to get started. I'm going to start with smudging and I'll introduce myself in a moment, but I want to start the smudge first. Oh, and I'm going to start a candle. Always opening in a good way so that only the highest vibrational beings and energies are permitted in the circle. So that's always who I invite in, and anyone else who maybe needs healing can come to the edge of the circle, but they are not allowed in, so that we have a safe, sacred space. All right, so Bojo, Mishkikinakamananikwe, Nadishnakas, Kokoko Nidodem, Anishinabekwe, Deshkan Zibi, Megwanadida, Calgary Ninjinjaba. Learning new ways to say hello in the Ojibwe language. Just saying my spirit name, my Indigenous name is Medicine Song Woman. I'm Owl Clan. I don't know my full story, so I don't have that down in Ojibwe yet. But I live right now in London, Ontario, which is also known as Deshkan Zibi. I acknowledge that this space that I live in is on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee, the Lenape, and the Attawandaron peoples, on lands connected with the London Township and Sombra treaties of 1796, as well as the Dish with One Spoon Covenant Wampum, which also covers Toronto, where I just moved here from. Yeah, so if you know where you are, the land that you're on, feel free to drop that in the chat. It's a good practice to get into, to know the land that you're on and the ancestors that are in that land and that have taken care of that land for generations. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you there. So we have lots of people in Zoom. 100 people signed up. I don't know how many, because I know that Rogers and there's Bell, like all these weird things are happening tonight. It's very interesting. Or today, I guess, not tonight. But, we're just going to roll with it. And I think, speaking of that, I have to fix my audio again. Yes, I do. One little adjustment, if I can just find it. There it is. Yeah. Okay. So, and if you have intentions, feel free to put those in too. But my intentions are just always that everything I be, do, say, feel, think, believe, and act on in this session and all day be for the highest good of all life everywhere. And so it is. Yeah, I love this. The more that we see these land acknowledgements, even no matter where you are in the world, there were Indigenous people that were the original people of that land. So it's good to find out who they were and honor those ancestors. So So I'm going to do a welcome song, and I'm going to do the one that I do for my clients when I do, like I'd say 95% of the time, it's this song that I am called to sing for my Medicine Song healing sessions when I do private sessions. And it's a song that actually was given to me by my grandmother from the spirit world. My grandmother, Nora, from my father's side, gave this to me in my kitchen, and she was jumping and dancing around and all excited, trying to feed it to me so I would learn it. And this was back in 2005 when I got back from Thunder Mountain. I think it was when I got back. Had this whole whirlwind of amazing spiritual things that happened from me going to this women's water retreat in Thunder Mountain. In 2005. And so this is part of that. One of the seven songs that I was gifted with from the mountain that I was supposed to carry. And there were 7 I was supposed to leave behind that I sang just for the mountain and for the ancestors and the people there. So before we get started and everything though, like, I'm just going to say, like, if this is you, you're in the right place. And if you don't want to waste your time, you'll know. If you're a smart, compassionate empath, you're cracking open and you know it, even if you've had a spiritual awakening, it's like, here we are again. Probably feeling and dealing with a bit of intensity right now from all of the emotion. And I don't know, depending on where you live, you're going to be picking up on the mass consciousness that's going on around in your area the most strongly, right? So here in Ontario, it's a little bit crazy. People are not, there's a lot of just intense feelings going on right now. So holding space for that and holding space for us to feel. So that's important for us to be able to feel, because like I like to say, you have to feel and be real to heal. So we're riding this crazy wave, and you're here to help humanity, and that you're here for that in some way or another. So you're on the edge, even if it's a little scary, you're here for it. Yes, I would love to see some yeses in the chat room, because I know you're here for it. So that's primarily who is going to get the most out of this conversation and the healing and everything else that happens, because you need to be open. I mean, I've worked with skeptics who were they were completely closed, and still it helped, and still it was amazing. The session was great, but like, to really, really benefit and to be here for, we're here for humanity. We're here for ourselves first, though. Let's make sure you remember this. Be here for yourself first. They talk about that oxygen mask thing. And the way I've heard the elders talk about it, it's like we have to care for ourselves first, or how can we care for anyone else? So just taking care of ourselves, and seeing lots of yeses. Yay. It's awesome. Yeah. So what's going to happen tonight? No, I'm going to get into that in a minute. I want to do the song first. Then what's going to happen tonight? So when I'm doing a welcome song, that's to begin in a good way, because this is going to be a ceremony. And, every time I work with healing energy, I will do that. I'll start with a welcome song, and we'll end with some kind of a traveling song too. So this is to acknowledge our higher realm support team. That's what I call it. You can, whatever it is for you, God, goddess, creator, the universe, spirit, angels, archangels, like whatever it is for you, whoever it is for you. And that's what I will be inviting them into the circle, only the ones from those highest vibrational places, the ones who are willing and able to support us in a good way. And that's how I hold space. So to me, this is a circle. Doesn't matter if there's like 100 of you here and others scattered on Facebook and Twitter and wherever else, like we're all in a circle, and just, that's what it is. So, so I'm gonna sing this welcome song called Grandmother's Light. And while I'm singing it, if you have intentions, if you have your special healing requests, if there's something you need help with, if there's people you're praying for, you can put that all kind of up in the smoke. I'll does that keep going? That's kind of still going. And when I do those honor beats, when you hear louder drum beats, which will just be at the beginning and kind of at the end, that's our offering up our prayers into all directions. Yeah. And my drum's already pre-smudged, but I'll get underneath it too. Yeah, so you can have your own intentions and welcome in whoever it is that you want that help from. Way ah, way ah, way ah, way ah, way ah, way 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 just take a few deep breaths here. All the way into your belly. Not just anxiety breaths up here, but all the way into your belly. And then even breathing all the way down to your feet and feeling Mother Earth holding you. And feeling your body, checking in. Just noticing any sensations, anything going on. Not having to change anything, just noticing, just checking in, and checking in emotionally. How are you feeling emotionally? What emotions are up for you right now? Any and all are valid. Just noticing. Nothing wrong or right about any of them. Yeah, just to have a checkpoint so you know where you're at now and you'll know where you're at later on. And if you still have your eyes closed and you went pretty deep with that song, really feeling the sensations of your body right now and even giving yourself a nice heart hug can help. And feeling the sensations of your hands on your skin and just feeling that body, that beautiful body that carries you around every day that you have. Yeah. So, I'm excited about tonight. I've done this in person, kind of like a version of this in person in like 2013, but it's been a long time. Um, so yeah, tonight one of you is going to win. We're going to randomly choose. My assistant is going to pop on for a minute to do that when it's time, and for the Medicine Song Healing Hot Seat. So one of you is going to get that, meaning you're going to get a live medicine song healing session during this live stream. So during, while we're here. And I'll say a bit more about what that means in a moment. But everyone else is going to get some healing. Whether you get that hot seat session or not, you're in healing energy right now of all of this. Your intentions, you just put them into the circle. If you didn't, put them in now, or healing requests. And that means something, and that works no matter, even if you weren't here right now and you put it's energy and intention. It means so much. It's the language of the universe. So we need to speak that language to be able to receive like that. So everyone else will get something out of this, whether you get the hot seat healing or not, because I know all y'all in the live stream, you can't, because I know it was sold out before. It's all good. Everyone's going to get something out of it. You'll also have a chance to get a session with me if you want. I'll talk more about that later, but we have, I've had a COVID special on for 50% off my sessions for ever since actually court. It started with court in 2019. I'll talk a bit more about myself. But yeah, I lost my son and we were in the trial. And anyway, that a lot came from that. And one of the things that came from that was I needed to support myself. So I put my healing sessions on special, which I'd never done before. So that is still happening, and you'll have a chance. I'll talk more about that. But for those of you who don't know me, or things are kind of changing around Brenda Central too anyways. So the stuff I'm doing now, mostly, it's similar to what I've always been doing, but I'm a singer first. I'm a Juno award-winning artist, and I'm a grieving mom. Through my signature medicine song healing work, motivational speaking, and my Picking Up the Pieces 13 Moon Resilience and Reawakening program for women, I use my music. Mostly that's where it comes from, is the songs. And then the teachings and the healing energy all kind of just piggyback on the songs to help women empaths to get through trauma, grief, and exhaustion, like what we're going through right now, while reawakening to the gifts that they carry and embodying resilience. So you can do all of that at once. And music is amazing for that, but especially when you're dealing with healing music. So my passion comes from loss. I've lost my parents when I was young, like all my grandparents are gone, and my son was murdered 5 years ago. And, so that my experiences of living through all of that have kind of translated now into spiritual downloads that have come through for me to do this work even in different ways. Like some of you were at the concert on Friday. I think it was Saturday night. I can't remember right now. I think it was Saturday night. My Medicine Song Healing concert. That's the first time I've ever done one of those. And it's because Spirit called me to do it. When Spirit calls you to do something, what do? Not just listen, do it. Right? So that's what I have to do. That's my commitment to myself and to Spirit. And that's what when I say Spirit, I'm just referring to all of them that are my higher realm support team. So my medicine song healing gift came a little later. I've been singing all my life. That was what I thought I was. That was it. I'm going to be a singer. That's all I thought it. I thought that I would have this recording artist career for my whole life kind of thing. And I did for a while. And then I had to go deeper. So I needed to help myself get on a healing path, because I was just finding myself feeling completely lost. And of course I lost my parents. I moved from BC to Toronto with a friend who basically backstabbed me as soon as I got there. And I just it was hard. And growing, I was just I think 20 when I moved, or 19. And just living through with depression and not even knowing it and not understanding until the 90s that what joy was. I was like, wow, never experienced joy before. And I had this incredible moment that showed me what that feels like. And that led to this session that I got to have with two Navajo grandmothers. And those two grandmothers, they did a whole like group session for us first in this Indigenous Women's Healing Lodge I was living at the time. And this was like 1998, I think. Yeah. So my daughter was like a year old. And so I went and did this session, and they offered us one-on-ones. I got this one-on-one session with them, and it was just incredible. Like, I didn't even know what it was going to really be for, but it was for grief. And so that was the first time I actually really, really poured out tears and grieved my parents. And it was so powerful for me. So powerful. And so, I thought we were done, and I was just blown away and thanking them. And then one of them came up to me with her drum that kind of looks like this one and goes, here, I want you to sing until you're done. And at that point in my life, I was singing reggae. I was a rap artist. I was doing R&B. I was doing jungle, but I was not used to this yet. I had a drum that I think I had bought, but I hadn't really started doing that yet. And so I didn't know any songs. But when an elder looks at you a certain way, you just do the thing. And so I just did the thing. And I listened for the song. And that was the first time I really channeled a healing song. And when I did that, I heard my voice as two voices for the first time. And I thought it was like, I'm like, what, do they hear this? So I asked, I'm like, did you hear that? Like, what was that? And the one grandmother who had me do that, she said, you just sang your spirit home to yourself. So I just I get chills every time I talk about that story. It's just like, and so at the end of this, I'm just about to leave with the ceremony instructions. They told me I needed to be in ceremony for, I can't remember, I think it was 2 weeks or something. And when I forget the thing I was going to say now. Because the experience was just like, it was overwhelmingly beautiful and powerful. Right. So at the end, what happened was just before I left, one of them said, you're a healer. And I was like inside going, I don't think so. Like, I was just backing away from that so hard. I didn't feel like I was worthy of being a healer. I didn't think that was, I was like, no, I can't do that. So I shelved it. And, it took 10 years before Spirit all of a sudden came through again and went, boom, like, no, you have to do this. Because I had without going into the whole entire story, things fell apart for me bad in 2007 in the winter. And in the spring, when usually things would be amazing, they weren't. Like, nothing, the help never came, like the thing that always happened for me didn't happen. So my business was failing. I was like in physical pain. I had a bunch of stuff going on with my health. And so I said to Spirit, I said, just whoever was here, I just said, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I did a cedar bath ceremony for myself, which is one of our traditional ceremonies, the way that I had learned it from my elder in Toronto. And I did that ceremony and I asked that question, and the answer was this male voice clearly just saying, gather the people together. So I do that now, right? I've been doing that work ever since. And then they also just dropped this download in and just here's this healing session and you're just going to know what to do. And, and I said, well, you're going to have to help me because I don't know all the instructions and everything. I can see what you're talking about here and how to kind of do it. But so I had to just really learn on the fly. And that, I think, was the point. Now that I said that out loud, I've never really hit that story that way, but it was like, that was the point, to get me to open fully, so that I really could just open to source energy and allow that to flow through me, because that's what it takes to do these songs. So, and to do this healing work. And it was by distance. So it was a little crazy for me to think that I could do that. But I practiced, and all the practice sessions were just like, there was miracles happening, and people were feeling it, in their body. Their bodies were moving by themselves and stuff like that. And so you might have some of that happen. If you do, don't be freaked out. It's all good. Because there was just such deep connection that was happening. And it's because I feel like now that said that just a minute ago, that it's because I'm really open to spirit. And that's our kind of one of our lessons right now, is to be open to spirit, but not so open to like the millions and millions of energies and emotions that are going havoc right now. Because as an empath, that's like, no, that's what's keeping, that's what's draining you. If you're feeling drained, that's probably what it is. So we need to, like, we can connect with each other because we're always connected with each other. That just is a reality. But we don't have to tap in and take on other people's energies. Like, that's what we need to stop doing. So that's a big part of the focus of my sessions and this whole suite, this medicine song healing concerts, and also, what we're going to do tonight. So, yeah. So, that's kind of where this comes from. It's not like I took Reiki 101 or whatever. I didn't take a course for this, Spirit was like, here, you're doing this now. And I listen, I comply, because I know that when spirit gifts me with something, or my intuition tells me something, if I follow it, it's great. It always is really, really good. So yeah, so I want to check in, like, just check in with yourself again. Like, how are you doing in terms of, your mental health, grief, loss, and if you're feeling exhausted or drained, like, how are you feeling? And there's one thing that we're going to have to deal with that a lot of people don't really think about. And we don't need to think about it too hard right now, but just be ready. Like, when this whole thing is over, we're all going to have this big sigh of relief. And we're also going to have what I call the after the exam crash. So, it's like when you're a student in school and you're like studying and studying and studying, and then you have the exam and then you're like, it's done. And then you get sick. So, and I'm not saying everyone's going to get sick. What I'm saying is, it just kind of, it's like we let down our guard. And then there's also just kind of the post-pandemic rush of almost like an ocean, right? Like, there's waves that are going to just still come in. And we need to just be here, present in our bodies for that. And, and clear ourselves as much as we can, right? So, some of the things to work on: energy boundaries. And I do this in the work that I'm doing tonight. Reawakening and expanding into who you really are and who you're becoming, because there's more that's coming out of us. There's like more emerging from within us and gifted from the spirit world. Like, there's a lot of energies happening. There's just a lot. We have a lot of support right now, but there's a lot going on. So it can feel exhausting, right? And like I was saying earlier, feel and be real to heal. That's what I keep telling myself and others, because if we're not feeling, we're stuffing it down, or pushing it off. If we're not being real, then we can't. If there's no that's acceptance, and if there's no acceptance, then there's no next step to take, right? There's nothing that you can do if you can't accept where you're at right now. So, whoops, there. Sorry, I got to make sure everybody's muted here. Okay, so yeah, what was I gonna do here? Yeah, okay. So we're almost there. We're gonna start the session soon, and I was gonna look. Oh, yeah, I'm just looking at and making sure I got through everything. Yeah, so we're gonna pick our winner, and I hopefully my assistant is here, who will screen share, because she's gonna do the random draw. And so I'll just wait a second for her to come. I don't even know, because there's so many of you on here, where she is. Will chat me, Michelle, if I need to do anything to give you control or whatever I need to do there. Yes, I guess marshmallows, Michelle.
Okay, I am here. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, and don't mind the name. My 10-year-old decided to rename my name on my computer.
Of course.
All right, let's get ready here. I'm going to, oh, you gotta enable me to screen share, Brenda.
All right, now I gotta find you in here. Shoot. Let me see. Right. Geez, you were there a second ago. Um, there, found you, and it just isn't letting me. There we go. Co-host, right?
Yeah, maybe.
It must be. I don't know what else to do. Yeah.
All right, I think I did it.
Awesome. Insert drum roll.
Yeah.
Drum roll.
Uh, I, uh,
Just not, I'm not, oh, I think
there.
it's, oh,
All right. Can we see the screen here with the name?
mm-hmm.
All right, and then we're going to go over here. So we have 99 names that have been entered in. I'm going to hit the generate, and we get the number 68.
Who
And
is
I'm
number
going to
68?
find it right here on the screen. And it would be Tracy Hubbard.
Tracy, if you're, are you here? If you are, unmute yourself. And if you're not, we need to pick someone else. So if you're here, Tracy, unmute yourself and let us know. If you can, let me just see, or put your hand up and I'll hopefully see that. But I'm not seeing. No, but I know that there's not everyone is here live either. So nope.
All right, we move forward then.
Next.
I clear that. Generate a new name. Number 8. And it is JJ
JJ.
Robertson.
JJ, are you here?
I most definitely am.
I figured you would be. You'd never miss a class. Awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Wow, Pat's here too.
hey, I was lying down.
Hey, Pat. Oh, awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. So what we're going to do is I'll kind of like walk everybody through what's going to happen. And you know, instruct you at the same time. So, um first of all, let's just take a big belly breath, everybody. Take a big breath. And on the next one, like let a sound out at the end when you bring your breath out. Yeah. Yeah. So just we're everyone who is not the winner is still the winner because everyone's going to receive. But so allow yourself to receive, but also you're going to be able to kind of be a vehicle for receiving and transmitting, because when we're all here in a circle together, then we're all kind of helping each other. And all of the guides and ancestors that come through, it's just not going to just be mine, not going to just be JJ's, but it'll be everyone's that's here, because we open the circle that way. So we have a lot of help and support. So that is also, that just hit me in an even deeper way, how of course everyone's going to get healing because we have so much support surrounding us right now. Yeah. So So what happens? Spirit speaks freely through me. I know JJ knows this because you've experienced some of my work already. But whatever our ancestors and guides might show me or tell me for your highest good, I'm just going to say it out, right? JJ, that's just letting you know too, like, because they say some weird shit. I'm just going to be honest sometimes. And I'm just going to say, like, I don't translate, I don't filter. I just say it like they want me to say it. So, and sometimes things are hard to describe, but I'll just say that too. You can tell me a thing or two that you want help with, JJ, or you don't have to. I'm just going to say before we do that, everyone else feel free to put your intentions or whatever you want help with into the chat, wherever you are. And I'll go back and give a little extra energy to those requests on social media that I'm not looking at right now. But and in Zoom too. Yeah. So just whatever, if you have a request and intention, put that down there. And yeah. And so JJ, what if you have anything, you can, or you don't have to, right? It's just up to you. You can say stuff, or you don't have to. You can just be open to whatever. What do you feel?
Maybe as we go along, is that the idea? Or now?
Oh, good question. During the session, I'll just be the only one talking and singing and everything else. So at that point, but I'll ask for feedback after, but during the session, I'm just doing my thing with the spirits. So if you want something, if you have a request or an intention, JJ, then now's the time.
Clear connection to spirit.
Okay. Love it. All right. So everyone else, please stay on mute who's in Zoom here. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to be doing a few things. I'm going to be drumming. I am still doing these sessions with my drums. So I'll be doing a drum roll, basically a steady drum roll, and then it might change. The rhythm might change, might not. While I'm doing that song, that's a healing song that's coming through for JJ, and it's also understood that because we're all in circle together, it's for everyone as well. And once the song is complete, you're gonna hear a little noise. For those of you who are closing your eyes or whatever if you're looking at a focus point, then you might not see anything, but if you do have your eyes open, you might see me doing this, and that's because I'll just be led by spirit however they want me to work with the energy. So and I will say whatever I'm doing and working with, and some of your ancestors might pop in, and if they do and they want some, I don't know who's saying what, and we're a whole circle here, so I'm gonna get stuff for JJ first, right? That's number one. And then other things are going to probably come through too, or stuff that comes through for JJ. You might be thinking, wow, it's like she's talking to me. That's just a spirit thing. Kind of, that's how they work. So, yeah. So in, checking in with yourself, you just everyone just did a bit of a check-in. So, check in where you're at now and how you're feeling in that. And, I was going to say rate yourself in the chat, but it doesn't really matter because you could be like, enjoy right now. And then afterwards you're in tears, and it's all good because it's wherever you're at, you're going to get what you need. That's kind of how it works. Yeah. So I am going to pick up the drum. I'm going to start to drum and sing. And then you'll notice that while I'm moving my arms around, I will be talking too. And if I'm going to be quiet, I'm going to say that I'm going to be quiet so that everyone knows what's happening and you can relax and have your eyes closed or open or whatever you want. When I do these privately, usually people do what JJ's doing and lie down. But not always. Sometimes people like to do movement or sit in a chair, but it's best when it's a real session for a full session, it's like, yeah, lie down. That's the best way to receive it. So you can just be that kind of that vessel and be open and let yourself receive, release, and flow whatever is meant for you to receive, release, and flow. So it'll probably be a little bit longer than an hour. It will be longer than an hour. Just say that now because the whole thing, because it's already 8:41 my time, and that means because usually it's going to be around 20 minutes this part. So we'll see. But I always they'll let me know when they're done too. So if there's something that needs to be completed first, then that will happen first. So just take a few deep breaths and get yourselves comfortable. And and I'm going to sing. I'll also ground everybody on the way out so we can bring you back out. And if you fall asleep, don't even worry about it. Come back and listen to the replay later. That happens sometimes for people. Yeah. So I'm doing my 4 honor beats again. So that's us, all of our intentions and prayers going out to where they need to. I'm just breathing here and being present for you. Way ha, way ha, way ha. Way ha, way ha, way ha. Yahweh, oh, Yahweh. So just breathing here, letting yourself be present and open. and just allowing the energy to flow however it flows for you, and breathing into your belly. Oh, so there's a great horned owl here, really, really big one. And he's a male, and he's just like, hello, I'm here. He's standing behind you, JJ. And he actually puts his wings up too. This is something new. I always see owl because I'm Owl Clan, but this is something like he's doing something for you. Spreading his wings and kind of like in a protective way almost, but it's really about giving you energy and support. And there's other birds here too. And I can feel that there's just draining a bunch of stuff out. They're just helping you release. Okay. I'm not sure who this is. There's a goddess in the house. It's one of the Marys. Just seems like a little bit muted to be the Mary that most people know about. Mother Mary. No, it's Magdalene, Mary Magdalene. Anyway, so I don't usually work with her, but she's here. And she's standing she's right in front of the owl, and all I can see is just all this light, and she holds space for you too. So it's like this beautiful big, almost looks like a sun, like this big ball of light that you're encompassed in, and they're holding space for you. There's something about these, there's some like, oh, this is so delightful. And I hear these little chimes kind of, or I don't know. It almost sounds like little expensive jewelry clacking together or something, like crystals. And it's this grandmother that's here. She's on the left of you, JJ, and she's just really gentle, and she has like completely white hair, and she's wearing white as well. She has sort of like this like a headpiece over, almost like a nun kind of thing. It's over her head, and it looks like this big, huge shawl she's wearing. And she just is sort of lightly singing, and she's making the crystals or the chimes do that. She's the one that's making that happen. And it's because she has this really elevated, like high frequency, beautiful, joyful energy that she brings. And so that creates, it just makes the crystals do that. It makes that sound happen. So she's creating this beautiful sound medicine just by being who she is. So there's butterflies all around, and they're in these intricate patterns, different kinds of butterflies. The one that I see the most is monarch. The one that's biggest in front of me is a monarch, and it almost looks like it was stitched, like it's a piece of art. And like the parts of the different colors and stuff are like beads, and except it's alive. Really beautiful. And I can just feel like that is absolutely about transformative energy just being around right now. There's some young spirits here, and I feel like these ones are like, okay, so there's a lot of everyone's little girls showing up, and I feel like that is, as I say that, it's like your inner little girl is showing up, as well as little girls in your lives are showing up, whether they're on the other side or on this side of the veil here with us. I just see there's like a whole ton of little girl energy here, and they're all very excited, and it feels really good. It feels really good. So even though there's some vulnerability, there's fear and anxiety in the air, your little girls are feeling good, and that's amazing. So there's going to be times when they're feeling terrified or, upset or mad or whatever, and we need to acknowledge them. They just want to be acknowledged. Just so we can just do that now, even just take a moment and breathe here. Just acknowledge our little girl inside. And if you're not a girl, then that little being that is inside of you. I just know mostly women show up to my things, but yes, whatever gender you are, that little being that is within you, that little being that has gone through whatever that little being went through in this lifetime. And but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of little girls. That's all I'm saying. Seeing a lot of little girls. So there's also this tree, and I see this beautiful star that is on like it's almost like it's embedded on the side of the tree. I see that these are cedar trees. There's a whole bunch of them together, and I just see the big one in front. Um, yeah, and there's an eagle or some kind of a red. No, no, it's a red-tailed hawk that's there. Yeah. Lending you some energy, doing something with its wings to help you. He says he's removing static energy. He's removing static. Yeah. So just breathing here. And I always, I'm going to do a quick check of your spinal energy. So I guess I'm going to be quiet because the mic is going to get in my way. So, and I'll do this for all of us here. Okay, so what I'm seeing is, for the most part, we're all doing pretty good actually. For the energy that's in your spine that goes up and down, it circulates in a spiral, going up and down. It's getting even better now. So let's focus on that. It's just getting even better now, and in balance, because it was almost in balance already. But that just gives you a lot of stability when this is spiraling the way that I like to see it, when it's healthy and happy. So I'm just going to check in again here. Great job, everyone. It's so good. I see all this peach and pink light and white light too, just lighting it up all around everyone's spine right now. So like we're all getting this, not JJ is getting this, you're getting this, I'm getting this. Yeah. So tap your feet on the ground a little bit, everybody. We're just going to make sure we're fully in our bodies here. Yeah, because this is like there's a big column of energy coming through. This is the highest frequency energy I know of. And it's like my universal love painting. It's like this golden and pink energy kind of mixed together, but it's like we're getting this big, thick shower of it right now into our circle, and it's what they're doing is having it splash at our feet. So we're all sitting here and it's almost like we're at a wading pool, and we're sitting there and it's splashing at our feet, this beautiful energy that's just filled with high frequency love. It's kind of like bliss, this energy. And as it splashes onto your feet, onto your skin, it just fills you up with that love and that light. They're getting us ready. They're getting us ready. There's I don't know what for. There's so much going on the planet and cosmically right now, but there's good energy coming. I feel it. I'm feeling into that now from the vision that I had a while back, and it's like, yeah, that's what this is. So there's either more, I guess it's the same energy. So they're not saying it's more, they're saying it's the same energy that was already coming through for us. It's for us to help us. I want to check in and see which beings are here. So I'm asking if anyone else is here that wants to show themselves. And I'm specifically asking for JJ, but I'm also inviting anyone that wants to piggyback on, that wants to say hi to somebody else. Or just let us know that they're here. I am seeing there's a blind girl that's here, and she's in a like brown robe, and she has brown and long hair, just past her shoulders. And I don't know who she belongs to, but she's here, and she just wants to let you know that she's here. Okay, so she is for JJ, and I feel like she's also for some other people here, but she's going, here, come with me, and she's going like pointing to the right, for you, JJ, to your right. And she's like, here, come here. And she's going to steer you in the right direction. She's going to show you where you need to go. And it's like what she's showing, she's like, shh, be quiet. And then she's taking us into this little place where there's just the life that's there, the little beings that live in the forest. And she's showing us this one little spot. And it's it's so sacred. And it's like, you'd have to be her to or have her kind of energy to get access to these little beings, to know even that they're there. But she knows, and she just brings us into connection with them. And now I'm seeing the flower of life, just sort of imprinted on the forest floor here. They're showing like something that you felt like was really toxic to you is just leaving. It's out. It's done. Like you're done with it. It's gone. Whatever that was that you felt like it's like smoke trailing behind you or something, it's gone. Okay, and anything else that they want to share with us, and anyone else that wants to show themselves? I'm feeling like we're just about ready. And I'm also just going to do a little bit of an energy boundary boost for JJ and for everyone here. Just so you have a little bit more protection from all that energy flying around right now and the emotions and all that. I don't know if that's a 7 or a Z, and I don't usually get those, but when I do, I'll say it. It looks like a bronze 7. Yeah, like it's literally like I can see a screw in it, like it's metal. And someone says, that's interesting, and they're pointing to your heart center. So I'm just going to spend some time there. And I see this little flag, and it's like there's all these parts of you that want attention. They just want your attention. They want you to acknowledge them and just let them know you're here, and you know, we're going to get through this, and just listen to them. Someone is pouring something, and there's this flower that they show me that looks sort of like a tulip. Could be a tulip. But it's almost like they're pouring some kind of liquid into this tulip, but they're having you hold it, and then they want you to put it in the ground. So we know it's planting season, and it's like this is already, it's like it's already blossoming, and you're putting it into the ground, and then it's going to continue to blossom and continue to blossom. So whatever this one is, that's why it's going in the ground. It's not just a one-time blossom. It's like poof, it's going to keep coming, keep showing you how much life is here for you and how much love is here. So it's really interesting. Like there's so many beings here that I can hardly make them out. So like, cause there's like this big layers of these masculine, like these masculine beings that are here. And some of them are like, they just belong to so many different people here, but they're just wanting you to know that they're here. Like they love you. They care about you. They're here helping and, you know, and joking around with each other at the same time, but they're helping. Yeah, like some, you know, like there's a bunch of uncles here and they're just all like hanging out with each other actually and having a good time and also knowing that they're helping. And I see some more little girls and I see some young women. In particular, one young woman that shows up that has really, really long blonde hair, like the color of straw. And she has this really gentle energy. And I know that she's for you, JJ. Like, I feel like it could be from this lifetime, but I'm not sure if it's another one. It just is a lot of generations removed, though. And she's just letting you know she's here. She's in her maybe like 19 to 22-year-old, kind of that range. Yeah, and she is very lighthearted and joyful. And really like a pure spirit. Okay, so I'm asking one last time and doing more energy boundary work here. I'm just going to ask one last time if anyone wants to show up. The owl is like, yeah, I know you saw me, but he's still here. And yeah, it's pretty, it's just a lot of ancestral support that we have here for everyone, really. And is there any like takeaway, any last thing that they want us to know here? And there is like, so what we need to sort of do like a collective breath here of, so remember how that sort of, that pink and yellow, pink and gold energy was coming down for us. And now they want us to just blast out whatever it is that we're releasing, whatever you're done with. And that's first. We're going to just, and that's going to just be through breath. So we're going to breathe in 3 times. We'll do a breath in, and then it doesn't matter if you have your mouth open, closed. I don't care. Just put it down into your belly though, so that you're not in anxiety land up here. So breathing in and sitting at the top of the breath for a sec, letting it flow through, and then breathing out. And we'll do like 2 more of those. Breathing in, letting it flow through, and then out. And then the next one, we're really going to blow it out. Like just imagine that you're just blowing it right out of your system. Just breathing in and blowing out whatever's leaving. Yeah. Okay. And they're showing me my symbol, but it's like lying flat. Which is all about spirit connection, just reminding us we all have this connection to spirit. We all have it. Yeah, and I see a caterpillar on the ground as well, a little spotted yellow and purple caterpillar on the ground. And it's like we start here. This is where we start. We start here, it says. And it's pointing to the center of the circle. So what we want to do now is we're going to breathe in whatever we need to breathe in for ourselves to receive whatever it is that we are wanting to receive in our lives. And I'm talking about things like good health, good relationships, whatever it is for you that you need healing around. Yeah, so let's breathe in the healing energy that's here for all of us, just breathing it in for exactly what you need it for. Just knowing that that's what's going to happen. You're just breathing that in and almost like you're drinking it in. So just a few breaths at your own pace. You might even want to take a swallow, actually, just like drinking that energy in. And one more. Ooh, yeah. Okay. I'm asking them if there's anything else. I feel like we're complete, but I just want to make sure that we are. And they're showing you this sine wave, is how I can say it. Like it looks like a music wave. And I don't know what that is. It's just beside you on your right, and they're showing it's lighting up. It's lighting up in sort of like a cheese orange, like almost yellow, but kind of orange. And it's perfect. It's a perfect sine wave, and it's just heading in front of you from the right side of you. I don't know what that's about, but there it is. And then I see lots of berries growing. I just see lots of berries they're all red, sort of purplish red, and just this huge bush of them, and it looks beautiful. Yeah. That's it. So I'm gonna just complete this part. So we're gonna breathe here and just tapping your feet again or wiggling your fingers and toes around and just reminding yourself here you are in your physical body and breathing into that body. Breathing in, breathing out. Give yourself maybe a little stretch or whatever your body is guiding you to do to bring you back into your body. And if you're giving yourself a hug or touching parts of your body, then that can just, bring it, feeling the physical sensations on your skin. And if you had your eyes closed, just opening them when you're ready, no rush at all. And just an integrating breath or two. Yeah. So, so as people are coming back, I see that JJ's back. So JJ, what would you like to share, if anything at all? What would you like to share? I'm curious about your experience, of course, I always am, but yeah. And if you have any questions about what came through.
I feel gratitude for the ancestors who have come and shown themselves. So that, because I know that they're there. And so much joy, because that's kind of where I try to live, so it's nice to know that it's coming from there, a lot of it. And yes, I want physical healing. But first things first,
They're telling you that you're going to get it. Like there's this woman in purple going, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. She's got like a purple, she reminds me of the crone in the Mother Peace tarot deck, actually. That's what she looks like. This old lady with gray hair, grayish white hair, and she's got this almost looks like a wizard hat even. And then she's got this flowing purple gown on.
It's interesting because it's like everybody who you spoke about, I know about almost, like not all of them, but like the birds and the butterflies. And I mean, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about these other spirits that came. Thank you for coming. But the owl, the red-tailed hawk, when you said red, I said red-tailed hawk as you were saying it. Like and yeah. Just immense gratitude that they love me, that they've come for me. Miigwech, all of you. Miigwech. Yeah.
Let's take another breath. Yeah. So, how about you? I'd love to hear in the chat, like from anyone who's live here with us, what kind of experience they just might have had too. And see, I'm curious about some of these beings who they belong to as well. That's really cool. Like it's always different every time. I never know who's going to come through. I never know what they're going to do, what they're going to say, what they're going to give us. It's always different. Yeah.
Oh, and the cedar and the berries.
Yeah.
Cedar, I realized I don't know how long ago, but fairly recently, like 2-3 weeks or 2-3 months, something like that. It's the cedar. Cedar is my tree. I'm quite
okay.
I just feel it, like, and same thing with berries.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
We have cedar on our property.
And we have cedar on my property as well.
Oh, nice.
So, and if I didn't have enough, I was going to bring some from here. And there are blueberries that grow there naturally, and raspberries and all that kind of stuff. And so
awesome.
It's because we're making a move here. So it's and we really don't know where we're going to go.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, you know what that's like.
Sure do. So yeah, so just ask them for help. You have so much support, and it's kind of like it's almost like there's this like, arm shaking like networking thing going on in the spirit world, and they're all just like, yeah, yeah, you're gonna help them too right after this. Yeah, yeah, of course we are. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm getting spirit tears from that.
You're getting what?
I'm getting spirit tears from that. Like, just I can feel it. It just feels so good.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm just reading in the chat. So, like, someone is saying, I felt a sudden gush of tears once he mentioned the owl. I know I felt like there was something there for I don't for a few of you, for me for sure too. I'm so relaxed I can't stop yawning. It's beautiful, vibrating so high now. Awesome. Could really connect with my inner child during the session in a different way. Awesome. Mary Magdalene and all the birds. Yeah. It's beautiful. Just seeing her too. I've never seen her before. I've seen like Mary, the Mother Mary shows up quite a bit. But her energy is just different and kind of bigger. And this Magdalene that showed up was just such soft, kind of glowing energy, just really gentle. Yeah, really gentle presence. A release of tension and heaviness. Awesome. Yay. Yay. And went from emotional to smiling. That's awesome too. And it's good too if you end up still just in tears, that's good too. Just to say. Blast the cat lets out a sigh. That's great. I feel joy, felt energy in and on my body, felt like I wasn't alone. Inner child feels happy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yay. And someone is saying they felt Magdalene. Amazing. I'm just going to check in the chat on the Facebook if there's anything there too. I feel like I've traveled lighter in my body. Could feel the presence like waves flowing through. Love that. Prayers and thoughts to all relatives. Yes, 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 yes. I wish Facebook would let me see all the comments, but I can't seem to see them all. And what do we have on YouTube? We have someone just got here at the end. Tears are falling. So you got what you needed to do. So even if you were late, that's awesome. Oh yeah. Feel free to share this too. I forgot to say, if you're in the social media world, like feel free to share this. So I'm just checking here. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna just continue here and bring my screen back. I have two screens for all this live streaming stuff. It gets a little crazy. But so JJ, do you have any other questions or anything that you needed to say?
Just about the little girls. I was very fortunate to have a good childhood, and every now and then Pat will turn to me and say, "What are you, 12?" I'm watching, kids shows on TV, horses and all that sort of stuff. And, but like my inner 7-year-old is pretty healthy, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm not surprised that we're all here and having fun is the big part, right?
It really, like, it is. And I was talking about this I guess it was during my concert on a couple days ago, when like we can have all of the emotions, it's not like we have to just have one emotion going at once. Like that's not who we are. We're like Technicolor. We have a lot going on. So sometimes you could be like feeling playful and having fun and still feel like crap in your physical. Like it's not one or the other. It's whatever we're feeling in the moment. Yeah. So which is why too, like when we acknowledge what we're feeling and how we are, then it just takes the pressure off, then we can just really kind of relax into, okay, this is what's going on right now. This hurts. This, I feel bad about this, or I feel great about this. And, I feel really excited that we're doing this or whatever, and just let ourselves feel whatever it is, to the degree that we can. And for those of you with, well, we kind of all have some version of PTSD at this point, but if you get triggered easily, because I know I do, after I lost my son, that was it for my PTSD. Like it's complex PTSD and it's hard, but we can still tap in to other emotions. It's not like I'm just going to go along the rest of my life grieving and that's all I'm doing, right? I have sad moments. I have happy moments. I have moments where I'm crying happy tears and mad tears, it's all valid. So the more that we all get used to doing that, just feeling our own emotions, then the more that we're going to know which ones are ours too. And that helps you to keep out energies that are not yours, like where'd that headache come from when that person just went down the street, So yeah, so I want to say thank you to JJ because I know it takes courage too to have a session like this in front of people. You never know what what they're gonna show you or say, right? So
yeah, and also the boundaries. That's also huge.
Yeah. That it's huge for a lot of people because when you think about it, I was just talking about this too. Like it's weird boundaries. We have to create boundaries for Zoom now. We have to create boundaries for like meeting people this way and not just in person. And energy boundaries, like, yeah, big time, because you want to have that. That's why I always like boost the energy, the edge of your energy field when I do these sessions, because it's a lot to process right now for anyone at all. But for empath, it's like we're exploding with everybody else's stuff. So you got to make sure that, we have to be able to discern and we have to be able to keep that stuff out, even while we stay connected to everyone, because we can do both. So I see that there's some action going on YouTube here. Okay. Oh, okay. Awesome. All good. And so what I wanted to share is, you can get 50% off on my Medicine Song Healing sessions right now, but only until April 23rd. And then it's going back to just regular pricing. So I have one thing I did during the murder trial of, that was when I was doing a lot of healing work for myself and creating an album and doing all this stuff to help myself get through it. And one of the things I did financially to help myself get through it was put my sessions on for 50% off, and added a 30-minute session so that even if, that's a push for you for the full 1 hour session, you can also still get a half-hour session. So I'm the link, we'll put the link in the Zoom chat, and my assistant's on top of it. She's like going from place to place, adding stuff. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah. So you can check out for the sessions. It's not, obviously you're not in front of a whole audience of people and it's just by distance. I don't need the phone or anything. Like, to explain a little bit about how it works for a private session. we meet virtually, and I give you a guided meditation that you can either listen to or not. Some clients do and some don't, but it's just my voice over water that I recorded, a cute little creek in way up in Mattawa, Ontario, Northern Ontario. And it's just to keep you on track, and so you know what I'm doing, and then it brings you out at the end. If you have a 1 hour session, it's exactly an hour long. But yeah, like all kinds of, you never know what's going to happen. That's why, it's not like I can say, and I can guarantee blah, 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 and all these things will happen, because it really depends on what's going on for you and what your guides are going to give you. And, a lot of the time, we do a bunch of, work in a session together, and then your guides are telling me, and it's time to back off now from this one thing, and we need to move somewhere else. And so I'll always know not to take you too far in, because healing too fast is not the greatest thing. And then sometimes you need maybe another session, or maybe just you need to wait it out. Like sometimes for the sessions, when clients want another session after they have one, I always will tell them to wait 2 weeks. And then we need to have a call anyway, because after we have the session, after we do private work together, then I always have a phone call afterwards so that we can check in. So like with the JJ, like we just did, I can, if you have questions or something comes up after the reading, like, so you can reach out. And JJ, you and I are connected, and I'll give you that anyway, because I know that you're in my classes and stuff. So, so feel free to reach out if you have questions about the reading or whatever, just email me. And so it's an hour long usually for this to get the most out of it. It's an hour long. I mean, this is this is like a touch up when they're just a short session, but this is how I do it. And I do a traveling song, which I'm also going to do now. Like I'll probably do that same one. I don't know. We'll see what the spirits want me to do, but, we open in a good way. We need to close in a good way, right? We open in a good way with, inviting all of these ancestors and guides here, but we also need to thank them. We need to thank them and let them know the party's over, because man, we have a lot of, like, it's a huge party right now. So I'm going to drink some water with gratitude, and if there's any questions, let me know. Actually, I'll check in the chat. If you have any questions about these sessions and how they work, like, let me know. One thing I will say, like, it ranges in how it helps people to, it could be just that you have everyone has a great sleep at the end. That's something that just happens, but maybe it's, your back cracks and then feels better the next day. Maybe it's that I've had someone who we cleared the rest of a tumor out in one session. One time I had a skeptic, this guy that completely didn't believe, I don't even know why he booked the session. But it worked out so well. Because he was like, I forget, like Switzerland or someplace, I don't know. And he didn't believe that it was going to work, but he booked it anyway. And he must have opened up enough. I don't know. But like that was one of the craziest, like there was so much information that came through. So, you never know what's going to happen. Yes. Thank you. So I'm going to check in here and see if there's any questions, but I don't see any in the Zoom. I see one there. For the person asking about a cedar bath ceremony, I can't remember which group it's in right now, but if it's not in my Find Your Voice mastermind group, I'll put it in there after. So get yourself in that group on Facebook. And cause I shared that information. I'm pretty sure it was them. I know I shared it in my course, but right now it's not open yet for the next season. So if you go in my Find Your Voice group, I'm quite sure that I dropped that file in there. I have instructions on it, to do it in a good way, because it's working. When you're working with plant medicine, it's not just like throw the stuff into a pot and do it. Like there's prayer and ceremony involved, and respecting the tree. And, so there's more to it. So I have, the way that I was taught and in that group. So, and if it's not there, I'll put it in after tonight. So look that up on Facebook. I can't remember what it is right now, but if you find me on Facebook, it's Brenda McIntyre, just my name. How the readings work. Yeah. Yes, the link is there. I think it got in. Yeah. So, maybe Michelle can pop the link in again for you. There you go. Yeah, that's the link there. It's medicinesongwoman.com/medicine. I think you can get there by /MSH too. Right, Michelle? Yeah. So MSH is in Medicine Song Healing. So medicinesongwoman.com/MSH. How the readings work, like what happens, it's like how you experience it here tonight. So I'll do, the song brings everything. That's where it starts. I do my welcome song like I did for our circle tonight. Then I'm smudging, I'm working with water. But first I do the song. And then once the healing song comes through, and I'm recording as I'm going, so you get the recordings. And so you get the recording of this healing song. Then I start a second recording for the reading. And once the song comes through, then I'm hands free. I'm going to the water to clear your field first before we even start. And then we go into whatever. I open up and ask the ancestors and the guides to just, what do you want to share? And I'm listening, just like I'm listening for the song. So I'm just listening, and whatever comes through, I'm just sharing that. And like I said too, I don't filter, I don't translate. That was something my elder told me is not my job. And I get it, because I don't know what it, sometimes this stuff is really weird that I'll like, you know, they'll show, sometimes it's just like we're shown trees. Sometimes we're shown like a whole healing system for a client that belongs to them. Sometimes it's their spirit names. Sometimes it's their ancestors just coming through and like laughing and joking with me. Like there's all kinds of stuff that happens here. And sometimes with the reading, I'll feel what's going on in your body. Like the only thing that I really was feeling physically for JJ was around that spinal energy. And that's something I check every time. So I want to know that the spiral is working really well. So I'll clear that up if I don't see that. But I've seen stuff before. One time someone I didn't know they had a heart device or some kind of a metal device. And I was telling them how I saw this like rainbow colored thing right here. And it was exactly where that thing was. So I'll see that kind of stuff too. And I'm working with the body too, right? So, and your energy field. So there might be stuff that's hanging out in your energy field that you actually released, but it's just not from fully gone. And then there's stuff that is in your body, right? So if, like sometimes I'll feel the heat around a shoulder area or whatever, and I'll just mention that. I'll say right in the reading what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, and what your guides and ancestors and mine are telling me or showing me. Yeah, and sometimes it's multidimensional and hard to explain, but I do my best. Yeah. Let me see. Is that helpful? And if there's follow-up question, feel free to put it in there in the chat. And I'm looking back. I don't see any other ones here, but I don't know about YouTube. Is there any questions on YouTube? I'm not seeing any there. And I'm going to go to Facebook real quick, and hopefully I can see if it's going to show me these. Yeah, I don't see any more messages there, so that's all good. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is a traveling song before we complete, so that we can let all of our higher realm support know that we're complete. Oh, someone's saying, I just remembered I felt like I was physically singing with your voice. Your voice was vibrating in my throat like your song was coming out of my heart and throat. And I heard myself singing your words. Ah, cool. Yeah, a couple of times, and only a couple of times. And I've been doing this since 2008, but it was pretty cool. Like the two people told me when they heard the song on the recording, it was the same. They had heard it while I was singing it. Like, you know, we don't have a phone. We're not doing it over the phone, but they heard the song and they knew it when they heard the recording. They could just sing it. It was pretty wild. But yeah, it's our connection, and how I get that connection too, by the way, is I ask you to, if we're not familiar with each other, then I'll ask for a photo. And also, if you don't want to do a photo, then you can send me just a voicemail, because I can connect using your voice or your image. So that's how that works, and it's kind of like spirit is broadcasting to me what to say, what to show you, if that makes sense. So if there's no more questions, if there is any more questions, and you can also email me if you have questions. We'll send out the replay to all of you that were on Zoom. And I'm pretty sure it will just be on Facebook. We'll just leave it there so people can see. Yeah, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm checking in with what traveling song we're to do here. Yeah, not the I'm not doing the community song because copyright. I want to make sure that I'm not going to get muted and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna do Thunder Mountain Traveling Song. So this is the one that I actually mostly do when I have when I offer a session. And the welcome song and the traveling song, I never record those for sessions because it's just always the same. But I always will record your healing song for you and the reading that comes through. All right. So Thunder Mountain Traveling Song also came to me in 2005. Was also one of the songs, just like Grandmother's Light, that I opened with. That came from the mountain, from that water ceremony that I was blessed to be able to participate in, and it was a really cool experience. I always share the story of the song. It's one of our protocols to do that, to pass on songs. And what happened, like we were just leaving Thunder Mountain, and let me tell you, I did not want to leave. I wanted to stay there. I was so magnetically pulled to that place. And, and it was such a beautiful experience. But so I'm like, okay, we'll leave. And so what happened, on the way out, we're just going to the car, and my driver, my friend who drove, she was in the car and just waiting with the door open. And I just had a feeling I should just look down, and I really wanted to bring a rock home too. And I was just really hoping one would speak to me, and one did. So I looked down and I picked up the rock, and this song just like flooded through. And then my friend, she just looks at me and she goes, "Didn't you want to go back to the circle and like sing a song before we leave?" I'm like, yeah, that's how it works over there though. Like spirit is so strong in that place. So, so I went back and circle, and there were a lot of women at the circle at the fire and singing and drumming. So I went over there and I shared the song with them, and then we left. So it's called Thunder Mountain Traveling Song. I'll also say that, so what a traveling song is for it's for gratitude for those ones that are helping us, right? Letting them know that we are very grateful for them. It's also being grateful for yourself, for showing up, and for everyone else here that is also in the circle, whether they're here live or later. And, in person, it would also be for safe travels. So intending safe travels for everyone. And it's also for those spirits, those souls that have recently passed, that may need a little support on their journey, on that next journey. So it's to help that next journey as well. Yeah. All right. miigwech. All my relations. Yeah. So circle is formally complete. And I want to thank all of you for showing up and making this commitment for yourself and for humanity, because I know that's really why you're here. I know you want to help and make a difference, and we all can. Like, every one of us has our unique gifts to share, and if you don't know what yours is, like, that's another thing that can happen with these sessions sometimes, is finding out what is your purpose. But I'm going to tell you right now that you already know it deep within, and it's just uncovering that. It's just revealing that. We all have that purpose. So many blessings to all of you. And I will answer any questions in the social media chats later. We're going to send out, I might even send out the chat for you, for you who are on Zoom. There's a lot in there. So you can remember what your intentions were and, how you were feeling, your check-ins and stuff. And yeah, so I appreciate your time and you gathering here in circle with me. This is what I love to do. This is a huge part of what I love to do. It's just gathering in circle and singing these songs, sharing what comes through and helping in the ways that I can help. So
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. Good to see you, Star, too.
Nice to see you too. I didn't know my sound was on. I thought I was mouthing it to you.
Oh, that's what was happening. I didn't know what that was.
Sorry.
All good. So I'm just going to close off the live stream. So bye-bye in social media land. See y'all. Bamapi, which is see you later.